Okay. Daf Kadosh, Masechet Ketubot Daf 59A1. We were talking about, if you remember, right? Leolam, the Ma'alela Mezunot. We're talking about really Be'emet that he's giving her parnasai, he's giving her Mezunot. He's not giving her money for her necessities, right? And therefore, Rav and Shmuel both hold that Tiknu Chachamim, Tiknu Mezunot Tachana Ma'aseh Yadea, that she has Mezunot instead of Ma'aseh Yadea. U'Ma'a Kesef Tacha Motar, and the Ma'a Kesef is instead of the Motar Mezunot, which means that even not only do you have to give a woman for her necessities, which is basically just food, you also have to give her for necessities. You understand? She has to go to this, that. You understand? She has to do certain things. Yeah, you understand? Okay. So the fact that he's not giving her the ma'akesef, which is for her necessities, motar didahava. So therefore, it belongs to her. Ravada barava saman. Ravada barava comes and he holds. Tiknu mezonot tacha motar. They institute mezonot instead of the motar. Ma'akesef tacha maseyadeh. Kevin the kavil mezonot, since you're giving her mezonot, motar didahave. The motar is extra, goes to her, to him. So what is the machlok between them? More savar mida the shchiach, we mida the shchiach. One of them holds that we're learning it from one which is shchiach to another thing which is shchiach. What does that mean? It is common, right? Mizonot. And it is going to be common, right? And that's what we're saying, Maaseh Yadea. So shchiach and shchiach. The other thing is not common. Meaning there should be leftovers, or that's not the common. The more savar mida the kites, mida the kites. But one of them holds, no. The ma'akesef is something which is katsuv. It's something which is fixed. So there, and therefore the mizonot is something which is going to be fixed. So therefore the motar is not going to be fixed. Sometimes you have extra, sometimes you don't have extra. So because of that, he comes and he says, that's a machloka between them. What are you comparing it to? Okay? Next. Yeah? Meitvei. So we're going to ask a question. Yeah? Tiknu mizonot achana ma'aseh yadea. We just said that we instituted mizonot for her salary, which means the fact that you give her to eat, so therefore you keep her salary. Okay? That's what we just said. So ema tacha motar ma'aseh yadea. So says the Gemara, why don't we just say that tiknu mizonot tachat motar ma'aseh yadea, right? Not ma'aseh yadea, motar, the extra. So tashema, right? So ema. So therefore, he comes and he says, right? You understood the question or not? One more time. Tiknu mizonot tachat ma'aseh yadea. So it's mashma that it's ma'aseh yadea for mizonot. And says the Gemara, ema tachat motar ma'aseh yadea. Just add it in. And now that you add in motar ma'aseh yadea, now it's going like Rav and Shmuel and not like the other shita. So says the Gemara, we just said that if he's not giving her the ma'akesef for her necessities, so therefore she keeps her ma'aseh yadea. So there's now a question the other way around. You see, ma'aseh yadea was for the ma'akesef. So answers the Gemara, motar ma'aseh yadea shela. Just basically anything that we're going to tell you, you're just going to add in the word motar or not the word motar, and mainly it goes like the other shita. So says the Gemara, v'halak tani yuma hiosalo. So we learned, what does she do for him? So it says that she has to sew for him, Mishkal Chamesh Slaim Sheti B'Yuda, which means it's mashma that, because again, a woman is obligated to do some things for the husband as well. It's not only just a one-way street. A woman is obligated to do other things for the husband. So what does she have to do? She has to iron, she has to sew, she has to, of course. Right now, so it all depends. It all depends on the money. Meaning, if they make a lot of money, so therefore she could say, instead of me ironing, there's a cleaning lady. Go get her. Yeah, Fatima. Yeah, instead of cooking, she can, she's got a lot of money. Get freha. Huh? No. She always has to do something. She always has to do something. He said, no. They just come and they peel the potatoes and they, you understand, they prepare vegetables, they cut them up. You have some lady, they have no. So this is what it means to say. Maaseh yadea kama have, how much is the maaseh yadea? The leida motar dida kama, to know how much is the extra. Mishkal chamesh slaim sheti v'Yehuda shehen eser slaim beGalil. It's going to be 5 slaim in sheti in Yehuda, which is going to be 10 slaim in the Galil. Remember, there's Yehuda and Galil, right? For the different places in like sections in Eretz Yisrael. So Amar Shmuel says halacha is like Rabbi Yochanan HaSanlad, that he says that if a person comes and he sanctifies motar maaseh yadea of his wife, it's not going to be chal. Okay? So says the Gemara, Shmuel hachi. The Shmuel actually say this, but now we learned in the Mishnah. Kunam shani ose leficha. Right? Which means, right, a person's going to come and he's going to say that a woman that says to her husband, Kunam shani ose leficha, that anything that I work is going to be asur for you to benefit from it. He doesn't even have to do a farat nedarim. Right? Why? Right? He doesn't have to do it, right? Because it's not halal. Meaning, afarat nedarim is only if there's a neder, and you have to be mefed the neder. But if there's no neder, you don't even have to do afarat nedarim. Kiva says, no, you're fed. You do have to do afarat nedarim. Shema tadif alav yotamin ruilo, because maybe what's going to happen is she's going to have extra, and if she has extra, yeah, it's going to be a problem. Rabbi Yochanan says, no, she has to do afarat nedarim shema yigarshena, because maybe he's going to be divorce her, and then she would be prohibited to be choser alav. Because if he didn't do afarat nedarim and he divorces her, so now he has a vow. Now he cannot annul that vow, right? Because, no, he can't annul the vow at all. Because basically, it's only when he was a husband can he annul the vow. Now he's not the husband anymore. The Amar Shmuel, so Shmuel says, "Halacha zakir Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri." Halacha zakir Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. So it says the Gemara, Ki Amar Shmuel. When does Shmuel say halacha zakir Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri? La'adafa, for extra. Because maybe she's going to work extra, and then the neder will be chal on the extra, and it's going to be prohibited for the husband. So says the Gemara, fine. So lema halacha Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri la'adafa. Just say the halacha zakir Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri only in hadafa, in the extra. Inami, or you could say, "En halacha tanakama, the halacha is not like tanakama." Inami, or just say, "Halacha like Rabbi Kiva." So says the Gemara, Rav Yosef says, "Yosef, kunamot kamarta." You're talking about kunam. Shane kunamot. Kunam is different from other types of hekdesh. Mitoch shadam oseh perot chavero alav. Because a person with a kunam is prohibiting a person's fruits onto him. The adam, and therefore adam magdish davar shelo b'olam. And therefore, through a kunam, they could come and prohibit something, right, which is not even in this world. Which means that if you're going to tell me right now that the psak of Shemuel is that neder kunam of a woman is going to be chal even after girushea, it's going to be soter Rabbi Yochanan Salar, that he says a person cannot do that. So he says it's not a stira because kunam is different. Kunam, you're not prohibiting the chefetz, right? But only the adam, exactly. That means the kunam is on a person, it's not on the object. It's on gavra, not on the chefta. Yeah, kunameh, kunaseh, exactly, yeah. So eno chazak kegdesh. Hekdesh is different because he's also a chafetz lekol haolam. But kunam is only a ben adam. So Elmaleh Abaye comes and he says, Bishlema, I understand that it's going to be good. Adam oseh perot chavero alav, that he could prohibit somebody's fruits onto him. Shekin Adam oseh perot chavero. The person can prohibit his own fruits on somebody else. But right, he's going to prohibit something which is not come in the world on his friend. Shekin Adam oseh perot chavero, but you cannot come and prohibit his fruits onto him. Says no. A woman comes and he says, right, that like this, right? He comes and he says like this. You're listening? Yeah. He comes and he says that a woman is sanctifying her hands, and her hands are in this world. So therefore, since when she's sanctifying her hands, so anything that her hands make will become prohibited onto the husband, whatever it is, the hands on it, so it's not a davar shelo b'olam. It's here. Everything's here. So says the Gemara, he says, what, could a woman sanctify her hands? Right? So he says, her hands are subjugated to the husband. Meaning her hands are obligated, right? To what? To work for the husband. So she can't just say, you know what? No, my hands are not. Imagine a Kohen comes and he says, my hands are your hands are meshubat to give berachot to Am Yisrael. I care now that you could come, you could say now your hands are going to be, I don't know what. They're subjugated, they have a lien. So answers the Gemara, De Amra Lechi Migarsha. Says the kavanah is that the woman is saying it when she's going to become divorced. Huh? What about again? Is there something right now that's not going to become sanctified, but it's going to become sanctified afterwards? He says, why not? Somebody's going to come and say to his friend, this field that I'm going to come and I'm going to sell it to you, when I'm going to buy it back from you, it's going to become holy. It's not going to become holy? Obviously, yes. So Matki from Midami says, what are you talking about? Can you compare both cases? Hatam there, he can make it holy now. He has it in his hands to sanctify it, to consecrate it. Haka now, she cannot divorce herself. So, hello, David, this is only compared to a case where the field that I sold to you, that it's not going to, when I'm going to buy it back from you, it's going to become holy, but it's not holy. Yeah? So, Matki, Rav Papa comes and he asks the following, Midami, can you compare both cases? Hatam gufa perot bidad lokach. There, the gufa karka and the perot are in the hands of the lokach, of the purchaser. Hacha here, gufa bidahu. Here, right, the shoot of the body is in her hands. Right? That is why. That means even though the Baal is Zochim Maseyadea, right? The man does not own the hands. The hands are the wives, right? Some people come and somebody wants to be and says, no, but I bought her. You bought her, right? You bought her what? She's a piece of property that you could slap her up. He says, well, I paid for her. Right? A person comes, he takes his wife. Now you're mine. So what am I gonna do? Pa. Yeah, it's a mine. It's a mine. Yeah, so says the Gemara, right? He says, "Hello, Danya. This is only compared to Lo Melech Havara, somebody that tells his friend, Nun Teta Mubeh 59b, right? So there's Mishkanti Lechalak Shavdena Michati Kadesh Tekacha. Says a field, right? That I'm going to give you as a collateral. When I'm going to redeem it, it's going to become Hekdesh. And it becomes Hekdesh. So Matkitla Rav Shisha Bered Ravidi asks Rav Shisha Bered Ravidi suddenly Midami is compared. How can you compare both cases? Hatam there Biadolik Tota, you could redeem it. Here, she cannot divorce him. She cannot divorce herself. Halodani is only compared to a person that comes and he says to his friend, this field that I gave to you as a collateral for 10 years. So then when I'm going to redeem it, it's going to become Ekdesh. Tekasha, that it is going to be Ekdesh. So Matkifla Ravashi comes and he asks me, Dami, can you compare the both cases? Hatam over there, Eser Shanim, it's going to be for 10 years. And then you could still redeem it. Hachal here, a woman can never divorce herself. A woman can never divorce. It's a man that has to divorce. You understand? But it's not the woman. Ella, but rather, Ravashi says, Kunamut Kamarta, you talking about Kunam? Shane Kunamut is different. The Knushata Guf, but the Knushata Guf. The Rabban like Rabba says, Hekdesh Chametz v'Shichrur Mafkin Midesh Shibud. You know that Hekdesh, Chametz, and Shichrur, these are things which are mafkia from Shi'abud. What does that mean? This is a Tosfot. He's explaining the different things. So therefore, we're talking about Hekdesh. We know what Hekdesh is, right? Also Chametz, and also, right? That means Chametz of a Jew, right? That's coming to his possession on Pesach, which is a Surbanah. It's going to be mafkia, right? So he says, but if it belongs to the Goy, it's going to be permitted. So therefore, if right now he lent money from the Goy, and then he comes and he gave him, right, a collateral, and it's going to be Chametz or whatever it is. So therefore, when it comes Pesach, it becomes Chametz, a Surbanah, and it's going to be mafkia, the Shi'abud from the Goy. And therefore, you're not allowed to benefit from it. So v'nigdeshu mashta. He says, yeah, but it should become holy right now. So he says, Almuha Rabbanan the Debal. The rabbi strengthened the zechut of the husband in order that she should not make it, meaning that they went and they made it as if to say that the husband is 100% the owner, in order that she should not come and start making her hands holy, or hekdesh or whatever it is, and then she could just take it away from the husband. Nuntet Amubet Mishnah says the Mishnah, Velu Milachot. This is not, now we're talking. These are the melachot that a woman has to do to her husband. Velu melachot sheisha osa leba'ala. You see, right? These are the ones. So what does a woman now have to do for her husband? Yeah, listen carefully. Tochenet. She has to grind. It's registered. It's recording. It's recording. Amichai, we're sending it to your wife. Yeah. Tochenet. Yeah. She has to start grinding. Ofa. She's going to be baking. Mechabetzet. She has to make bread. A woman that she comes, she tells you, no, go buy the bread. And I'm sorry. Mishnah mefureshet. You have to bake bread for me. I want chalot. Yeah. Number 3, mechabeset. She has to do the laundry. She's going to tell you, send the clothing to the laundromat, right? To the dryer. No. She has to do the laundry. With a machine or without a machine? No, she could use a machine if she wants. To go to the river? Yeah, no, she could use the machine if she wants. Yeah, she's allowed to. Okay. Next, mevashelet. She has to cook. She comes, she tells you cook. Why you cook? You have to cook. Yeah? Menika et bena. She's obligated to feed her child. You just hear me. She's obligated. She cannot come and say, no, I don't want to feed. She's subjugated to her husband. She has to nurse, right? Her husband. Matzah lo amita. She has to do the bed for him. She has to do the bed for him. Right? Ve'osa bat tzemed. And she also has to work in tzemed, in wool. Okay? Next. Ichnisa lo. Yeah, ichnisa lo shifcha achat. If, right, she brought in one shifcha, right? Because again, she had money. So she came in, she brought in one shifcha. So then she doesn't have to grind anymore. She doesn't have to bake, and she doesn't have to wash her clothing with her own money for her nedunya. Yeah, Stein. If she brought in before the wedding. Yes, the nedunya. Yes, Stein 2 shefachot. She brought in 2 shefachot. She doesn't have to cook. And she doesn't have to give the child. 3. She doesn't even do the beds. 4. She could sit in this nice chair. right? Because now she doesn't have to do anything. Rabbi Eliezer, why? Because she has 4 maids. So imagine a woman has 4 maids because she's got a lot of money, so she's paying the maids. So with 4 maids, then she doesn't do anything. But until then, she still had to do all these different things. Says Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Eliezer says, even if she's bringing him in 100 shefachot, 100 maid servants, kofin la'asot batzemes, she still has to work something. In what? The semen. She doesn't have to cook. She doesn't have to clean. She doesn't. But she still has to work in semen. Why? Shabbatala meviya lidei zima. Because when a woman's bored, or anybody that's bored, she's going to do zima. Zima is immorality. Why? And all of a sudden, she'll start looking for the neighbor. She'll start looking for the this. She'll start, why? She's got nothing what to do. She doesn't have to do anything. So she'll start fooling around. Yeah? No, 1 minute. Rabban Shimon Gamliel Omer. Rabban Shimon Gamliel says, Af amadir et ishto min ha'asot melacha, yotzi v'yiten kedubah. The same thing when a person is going to be madir et ishto, that she's not going to do any melacha, he has to divorce her because he cannot stop her from not doing melachot. And therefore the Girushin is because of that. And not because of her, it's because of him. And the reason why, because when a person does not do anything, they go crazy. Bored. They get boredom. Boredom brings sin. Boredom brings all these things. And that's why it's so important, right? You know, and you'll see it even until today. Sometimes you'll see these, you'll see these rich women or whatever it is, and they're always doing things. And you're like, well, what let her relax. Enjoy. No. If somebody's going to be bored, all the avirot, everything. Okay? Do you really think that a woman is obligated to come and to start grinding? Remember, we're not talking about the grinding, no, we're talking about going to the mill and to start grinding. Well, you really think that a woman's going to do that? You're right. She's preparing the chitim. It's after. We're not sending her to the mill to start with, the heavy duty. No, that's not for. You could say, but no, we're talking about dida. We're talking about a lechaim avayad. We're not talking about the big mills. She would have to start doing all this, heavy work. No, that's not for her. Okay, fine. Matnitin de lo kerebichia. So our Mishnah is like kerebichia. Tane kerebichia. Any sha ela liyofi. I think they all hold on kerebichia. Yeah. What does that mean? Kerebichia held that a woman is only for yofi. What does that mean? Why do you have a wife? Only just, exactly like a vitrina. Yeah, you have a beautiful, right? Yeah. So he says only for yofi. She's not obligated to come to be tochen, to be ofet, to nothing. Any isha el labanim. A woman is for children. Yeah. V'tani rebechia any isha l'tachti sheita isha. Why does a woman is for jewelry? So she puts on herself jewelry and all these things. V'tani rebechia. He has a wife for the children and a wife for the somebody wants to come and make his wife, very precious. He'll be put her on nice clothing. If he wants that his daughter should be very beautiful, give her to eat chicks, and that she should be drinking a lot of milk, right? And then he's going to have, right, beautiful daughters as well. Fine. We're on the 2 dots where it says Minikat Bina, she's obligated to come and to feed her child. Obviously, our Mishnah doesn't look Bet Shammai. The time was we learned in a Braita. What did you mean Samukh? When she's becoming a Bagluta, when she's going to become mature. When she's puberty. Yeah, the puberty. So then she should drink a lot of milk. Okay, so now when it's talking about now Minikat Bina, we're going to say our Mishnah doesn't like Bet Shammai. The time was we learned in a Braita Nidra Shalola Nika Bina. Imagine a woman comes and she makes a neder, she doesn't want to feed her child. So Bet Shammai says, Shometet dad mipiv, which means she has to stop immediately because the neder is chal. Can you imagine? She's feeding the child and it's hurting her. So she comes and she makes a neder, she doesn't want to feed the child anymore. She has to take him off immediately. Bet Hillel says, no. What does that mean? She's chayevet. But she can't prohibit that. Right? She can't prohibit that to that. So therefore, no, you force her. Continue giving to eat. So he says, Nidgarsha, however, though, if she becomes divorced, now he cannot force her. Because she's only obligated to feed her child if she's married to her husband. Once she gets divorced from the husband, now she's not obligated anymore to feed the child. Now she could tell the husband, you get a wet nurse, so get whatever you want to start giving him to eat. Right? But now if he already knows, the son knows that he does not want to be minek, right? That means basically he knows that the child is not going to feed from another woman. He could pay her and force her to give the milk because of sakana. Meaning he knows that the son will not go to any other woman. So therefore, okay, pay her. Because now she's not married to anyone. He still has to pay her. But he forces her now to come and to give her to eat. Okay, afilu tema bet Shammai. So says the Gemara, no, our Mishnah could be according to Bet Shammai. Why? Afilu tema bet Shammai, you're going to tell me it's Bet Shammai. What are you doing with the Gunch and Nadra? He, the Kiyam Lahu. She made the neder, but he was Mekayim the neder. That's how the Bet Shammai. So Bet Shammai hold, who noter etzba ben shinea, right? If he's going to put the finger in between her teeth, right, which means the neder, so therefore he cannot force her afterwards. Right? Basically, she made the neder in a chanami, but he was Mekayim the neder. Why was you Mekayim the neder? So you got yourself into the trouble. No, the fact that she made the neder, she was the one to put the finger in between her teeth, and therefore, right, he's not punished for it. So it says the Alma says 1 second. Why don't we just say that this is a machlok between Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel to do the ketubah, to do the woman that she comes and she makes this neder. So we also learned in the Braita, Bet Shammai omnim and aminikad. But according to Bet Shammai, she doesn't have to actually be chlal give to her child to eat. So obviously our Mishnah is not going according to Bet Shammai. Because according to Bet Shammai, a woman is not obligated to feed, to nurse her own child. Next, we said if right now he knew that basically that this child will not feed from another woman, until when? 3 months. Shmuel says 30 days. 50 days. Right? That means basically it's just the entire time. Okay, so therefore this again. Have a wonderful day.